What is actually driving you in your life? Who is the one behind the wheel? And what are the characteristics of this driver? Because this is determining what you experience in life, what you do, what you don't do, what decisions you make. Because this driver also has a hidden goal that it's trying to achieve. A hidden agenda is often what I call it. And it's filtering life, every single action, every single decision, every single opportunity. It's filtering it through the question of, am I achieving this goal, yes or no? And this is how you are moving through life. And this is how you're navigating life as well. All based on this driver. Am I achieving this goal by making this decision? If it's a no, you go into a different direction. So you must become aware of, if you want to change your life, what is the thing that's driving me right now? Because if you're unaware of the thing that is actually driving you on a deep level, then you get stuck. Because that's when you start to experience conflicts in life. What I hear a lot when I talk to people in coaching conversations, they have these big ambitions. I want to be of service. I want to change the world. I want to increase my impact. So they have these beautiful ambitions. So if you think, okay, this is my main drive, being of service, creating an impact, then every single action must be oriented towards that goal, right? That the driver is trying to achieve. But then they're not doing it. They're not moving into that direction. They're moving into a different direction. So they're actually trying to achieve a different goal. They say they want to achieve this goal, but the driver, the deep driver inside of them that is behind the wheel is moving them into a different direction to achieve a different goal. And this is often, to give you a few examples, I want to be liked by other people. I don't want to be judged. I don't want to experience pain or rejection or failure. I want to be accepted. So let's say their internal driver is orienting them towards safety, towards certainty, towards acceptance. So everything is, for example, filtered through the question of, if I do this, will I be accepted by people? Will I be liked by other people? So if you want to have impact in the world, if you want to be of service and you put yourself out there, of course you expose yourself also to hate, to negative comments, to people judging you in any kind of way. So if this driver is seeing that, okay, the service sounds beautiful, but we expose ourselves to judgments of other people and negativity, we are not going into that direction. We are going the safe route. So this is how people get stuck. This is where the conflict happens. I have this ambition, but my internal driver is driving me in a different direction. And you must become aware of, what is the thing that I'm actually after? You need to become aware of who is the person that's driving right now. Because if you don't know it's orienting towards safety or certainty or all of these things, you can change it. And this is one of the most important steps, becoming aware of what is driving me in my life. And this is a difficult process because I had a huge confrontation this week as well with my internal driver. Because I was experiencing life as heavier all of a sudden. I felt pressure, I felt tenseness. I didn't feel as much fulfillment and joy in the things that I was doing with my work. And I didn't understand why. I felt my heart pulling me into a different direction. And the danger for me is that I start questioning things over and over and over again. But what I didn't realize is that my heart was pulling me into one direction and my mind was pulling me into a different direction. So my internal driver, when my heart wants to open up to one possibility, my internal driver was moving me into a different direction. So my driver was all about productivity. Is this productive? Am I increasing my output? Am I getting my results? Am I upping my performance? Is it effective? Is it efficient? Am I optimizing things? These were the questions that were constantly asked, and every single action that I wanted to do in life was filtered through these questions. Is it productive? This was at the core of everything. So when my heart was pulling me towards more fun in life, let's do these activities. Oh, this sounds so much fun. Let's create some adventure. Let's create some vibrancy, some aliveness. This internal driver was saying, nope, we're not going to be doing this because you need to have finished this project first. You need these results first. And then we maybe consider doing the fun activities. And even then, the goalpost will simply move. Because when I finish the projects, when I have the results, then the results are not good enough. You need to have these results first. And then we'll do the fun activities. So everything was optimized towards productivity. And if you do a fun activity, it's like, how is this benefiting my business? Or how is this benefiting my coaching? It isn't. So we're not going to be focusing on it, even though my heart is pulling me towards that direction. And that's when people get stuck. That's why I got stuck, because I didn't know, where is this conflict coming from? And that's why introspection and inner work and all of these things is so important, because I had to look at what is actually happening underneath the surface. And is it even true? Is this in alignment with my deepest truth? So for example, with the productive filter that was present. So if I have some more fun in my life, or if I do some activities that do not have intentionally a productive payoff, will this actually decrease my productivity? So this is where I can start to question it, the driver, because it was saying you need to have these things first and then we can have fun. But why can't both be present? So this is where you start to intentionally put someone else behind the wheel. And the funny thing is, what you start to experience is you start to also feel resistance to this. And you start to experience fear. Because the fear that I was experiencing is, if I have more fun activities in life that are not intentionally focused on my career or on my goals and ambitions, I will lose my progress. I will not achieve my goals. I will decrease my productivity. All of these things will happen. So this was the fear that's underneath it. And of course, when I brought it into my awareness and I could see it and observe it, I could see that this is not true. This is when I could start to question it. And now I can intentionally put someone else behind the wheel. What if I would create a life that I'm excited about, that wouldn't affect my productivity in a negative way, that will actually increase my productivity? And this is not even the main focus. The main focus is, what if I would just integrate some more fun in life and put someone else behind the wheel just for a moment? Not all the time, because fun is not going to be orienting every single thing and every single decision in my life. But what if I will put it behind the wheel a bit more often? How would that change my experience and change the kind of questions that I'm asking? Because the question that was constantly present for me is this fun? Or is this, okay, that's a good question, but is this productive? Is it giving me more results? Is it increasing my output? These were the constant questions. But what if the question is, and the filter is, would this create more vibrancy in my life? Would I be in awe of the life that I'm living? Would this create more excitement? So then I know that I have a different driver. Similar to the example that I gave with the bigger mission, with the service, with the impact. The questions that you're unaware of, that you're actually asking is, will I be safe? Will I be liked by others by making this decision? Will I fill in the blanks? So if these are the questions, you will be orienting towards that. But if you put a different driver behind the wheel, the one that's truly about service and impact, you would be asking different questions. You're not about being liked by other people. That's not even the goal. You know you're going to receive responses from both ends of the spectrum. If you are exposing yourself like that, if you are showing up like that, and you're all about the service and impact. So what kind of questions would that driver be asking? And this is how you can navigate through this whole experience, which is such a fun frame to think through when it comes to life, because this is also what I dive deeper into, especially with the clients that I work with, because this is often what happens in their life. They often experience this conflict. I want this, but I'm doing this. What is happening? It's because you're actually playing a different game. You're actually driving into a different direction. So what is the goal that you're actually trying to achieve? Well, I try to not be judged by other people, or I try to be safe, and I don't want this to happen. I don't want to be a failure. So of course, if this is the driver that's driving, of course, you will experience and make different decisions than the thing that you actually want, that your heart wants. So that's why it's so important to really slow down and to journal on these prompts. What is the thing that is actually driving my life? What kind of questions am I filtering life through? And is this how I want to be living life? What is that thing actually afraid of? Because often and this is what I experienced, if a driver is dominantly present, that means there's also a fear behind it. I need to be productive because I need to have these results, and you can fill in the blanks, because then I'll be good enough, and then I'll have this, and then I'll have that. So then you bring everything into the picture, then you know how this whole web is created, and that's when you can play with it. That's when you can recreate it. That's when you can see the lie in it, and you can put a different driver behind the seat, and you can ask different questions to see, how will this affect my reality? How will this affect my experience? How will this affect my decisions that I make in life? Because this is what I do in conversation with people. When I see that a certain drive is dominantly present for them, I intentionally start to ask different questions. If they are like, oh, is this productive? Is it this? Is it that? What will be the most fun decision? What is your heart telling you to do instead of your mind? If you put fear behind the wheel, okay, you will go into this direction. But what if we put inspiration behind the wheel? What if we put service behind the wheel? What kind of decisions would you be making? What kind of decision would expand your life? What is the kind of decision that if you look back at this decision, you will be so proud that you made the decision regardless of the result that you got. So this is just something that I've been playing with this morning, and I will be playing with this for the upcoming mornings as well with journaling. I hope you can hear this properly because there's a dog playing with a branch. Oh, that's fun. So this is the end of the video anyway. So you can play with this concept as well, as in what is actually driving me in my life, who's behind the wheel, and what if I intentionally change this? How will this affect the decisions that I make, the experiences that I have and create in life? And yeah, this is how you start to become the creator of your reality.